Travis Wayne Goodsell. Don't really have a video inspiring me to give you today. I wasn't expecting to be here this morning, but I was able to take care of it through other ways. And so since we've got a whole bunch of comment replies of hate-filled, wrathful Mormons and critics, we'll go through the comment replies. Now, typically, these kinds of comments are what causes others, specifically younger audiences, younger creators, to commit suicide. The news was reporting that 2023 saw the greatest increase in suicides in the nation, which is disturbing, as the social media problems with the rise in anti-Semitism and other hate crimes were escalating. And so all of these people who are attacking me are criminals. They are weapons by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They know the doctrine from the scriptures that they're not supposed to do this, and yet they're doing it. And it's sad. And it's because of the con that the church is playing on Mormons. The Mormons, therefore, can't see what it is that they're doing to me, and most likely other people as well. Mormons are bullies. Mormons are terrorists. They are violent criminals, just like their apostate Korihor brethren of branch-offs from Brigham Young. And they don't have a clue that, oh, it's Brigham and his changes that resulted in Mormons' deviance and criminal violence. Because he had the blood atonement in the temple. And we still have it to this day, as you have to keep silent and you're under strict command to obey. And so even though the penalties have been removed, the threats still remain, as you have to pay the church to be threatened to be Mormon. Isn't that special? So I saw a Mormon who is doing a video trying to claim that Protestants just don't get it. They don't get Mormonism. And the thumbnail is, "Are Mormons saved by grace or works?" And he'll most likely quote the scripture mastery, "We're saved by grace after all we can do." And so he'll say both. And yet he's wrong. This is the con of the church. 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2. Learning of the Jews. It's a completely different doctrine. It's a completely different interpretation of that passage. The grace is receiving revelation, the still small voice, or the word, and then we produce the word into reality. We produce the results of the word. Completely different doctrine from Christianity and current Mormonism, because it's the learning of the Jews doctrine, and it's science. Another dumbass Mormon did not bother to go through the Joseph Smith papers and did a repeat video with a fallacious argument to prove his case. It has to do with the Book of Mormon, and the thumbnail says, "Book of Mormon evidence." rapid translation. That's not evidence of the Book of Mormon being literal history true. It's a major fallacy argument, if not several combined into one. And so, yeah, it's Scripture Central, the wannabe apologist. But I'm willing to bet you, did not go to the Joseph Smith papers to learn that Section 10 is the wrong year. Section 10 was rendered the wrong year by Bruce R. McConkie. And this dumbass didn't even bother to check the Joseph Smith papers. Carly did. And Carly then left the church because she noticed that the Joseph Smith papers presents a whole different church than what the current church is telling us we're supposed to be and what Joseph Smith was. So yes, it was even less time. It was even repetitorist translation, which now is impossible. But that's the whole point. And then the queer woman who does videos now, she was, her latest one was on David Whitmer concerning the Book of Mormon. And so she has no clue, because David Whitmer had no clue. Oliver Cowdery was the babysitter. Joseph Smith couldn't be trusted, was on timeout for a whole year while Senior had to rewrite the 116 pages. Sidney Rigdon just kept on going until he finished, and then the oopsie of Joseph happened. And so with the extra time left, as Smith had to still keep working on 116 pages, which that's why there's a whole bunch of Isaiah in there, is to speed up that process. Sidney Rigdon then had time to put in his own doctrine from the Campbellite Baptists that he wanted, and some of which Alexander Campbell didn't want. And so Sidney Rigdon, yeah, sure, put it in. So that's why in Moroni you have the extra stuff in there for the sacrament prayers and baptism and stuff like that. That's all Sidney Rigdon from his doctrine, because the Smiths were Congregationalists, and so for them it's not about 8 years old. That's Sidney Rigdon again, when the letter from Mormon to Moroni talking about the abomination of baby baptisms. That's Sidney Rigdon. It was all being set up for him to have a church for him to preach from and have his doctrines. He wanted sacrament so that he can give lectures with the sacrament. And that's the whole thing. The church gave it to him. Sure, thanks for helping us make the book. And critics don't get it. They argue with me. Well, no, because he didn't join until December. Plausible deniability. Have you not heard that in any movie or TV show? Plausible deniability. They cannot be discovered. There are people trying to murder them, and then they joined the church and murdered them. The Book of Mormon, they gave their blood for us for. And Mormons treat them how? Arguing over whether it's saved by faith or grace, whether the Book of Mormon is literal history true. You just spit on Joseph's grave. You're disgusting, Mormons. And I see it when you're doing your beam and moat comments. You are guilty of what you're accusing me of. Dear God. So let's begin. Trisha got flagged by YouTube. a Mormon. She claims to be better than me. Mormon claims to be better than me, and YouTube flagged her. That says a lot for YouTube to flag somebody. Because they let a lot of stuff go. So prophetic reliability or infallibility. You must have been excommunicated. Nope. Nope. Church wouldn't dare. They do not want me to be popular as other popular excommunicated Mormons have been. They are afraid of me. They instead hid me away from society in their Nazi concentration camp here in Utah for 6 years of my life, tortured me, tried to murder me numerous times over the years. They have removed me from my property several times. Yeah, I get special treatment by the church. I do not get excommunicated. But I left when my West Valley City bishop said, take down your video on Adam fell that man might be. And you're thinking, well, that's from the Book of Mormon. How could that, what, huh? Section 29 of the Doctrine and Covenants, verses 36 and 40. What is our doctrine on the garden story? Because this church has a version that sounds exactly the same as Christian, but we're the learning of the Jews, and the Bible is translated incorrectly, by the way. That's why the biblical Hebrew text is also wrong. You gotta go back to Joseph is right. That's why I did the video. And so he said, you're going against the prophets. I'm not going against the prophets. The prophets are going against the Book of Mormon. And so he threatened me. Why are you bothering to come to church if you're going to do videos like that supporting the Book of Mormon as true? So, bleep you, Bishop. I'm out of here. Never look back. It's rule number 99 for Gibbs's rules. Wasn't it 99? I think it was 99. It was his final episode, I think. And McGee didn't like it. And so already she's pulling a beam and moat. She doesn't know who I am. She's come to one video. Trisha, you must have been. She's creating a category box for me so that she can judge me thereby. This is a psychological tactic used by, psychologists. And the church uses psychologists, family services. And family services helps the prophets figure out how to brainwash and manipulate Mormons so that they can be just like Trisha. This is an evil practice that the church is dabbling with. But where did they get it from? Are they the creators of it? Or was it Nazi Germany in World War II? You blame the church. Because of your weaknesses and sins? Do I? 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 2. My weaknesses and sins, huh, Trisha? You already lost your argument. So now I just get to laugh at you because of your evil hatred of stupidity. Because as I keep telling you, and people keep proving, I don't create a category box for Mormons. Mormons reveal that they have been brainwashed in the category. And that's why I can say the natural man, stupid. And that leads to hatred because of what they don't know. And that leads to violence. This is what she's leading to here. And so she's now accusing me of some unknown weakness or sin. She's fishing. This is a MAGA tactic of brainwashing and bullying, just like psychologists. Which the majority of Mormons vote MAGA. Mormons have always been, for a long time, and there's Democrat thing, but that things changed with McCarthy era, the Red Scare. You have to know the history of America for all that information, but regardless, they're conservative, alt-right conservative. And so they love to fool the people and the press by making it seem like they're okay with immigration or women's rights or LGBTQ. Yep, they fooled you while they were still practicing conversion therapy. They were trying to convince you that they wanted to build bridges with you while they were literally torturing you. And you got punked. And then they created in the law now, getting Democrats to fool you into thinking the Respect for Marriage Act got passed. Nope. It's the Disrespect for Marriage Act because of the church's exemption clause that convinced the other GOPs necessary to pass it. You got punked by the church. And so that's my weakness and sin. Do I blame the church for my weaknesses and sins? See, Trisha ain't got nothing on me. This is the trap that the church set for her. It's a psychological trap. She's the bully. She's the threat. She needs to be contained and locked up. And so she's still on her tirade. Oh, let me guess. You must have been an addict. An addict of what? She's still fishing. So you can't. It don't follow the word of wisdom. So now she's blaming me for not following the word of wisdom. Is it the Mountain Dew that I drink? Never touched a drop of alcohol except through cough medicine, but and I gave up on that myself as a teenager because I knew it wasn't working. It's a different problem with my breathing. It's allergy related. And then mouth rinse. I always use the alcohol stuff rather than the non-alcoholic because alcoholic cleans the mouth, but I don't swallow it. I spit it out. I don't want to swallow it. And so, no, I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. And I don't do drugs. I don't drink coffee or tea. Not even herbal tea. Ugh. Give me my Mountain Dew. But I am aware that herbal tea, herbal, not herbal, herbal, sword, herbal. pronounce it correctly, people, do have medical benefits. So I am aware of that. And so if I had to, where my life was in jeopardy, fine. But otherwise, give me my Mountain Dew. And so, yeah, and I exercise every morning. And so I run so that I won't be weary and walk that I won't faint. Did you even know that? Or did you think that I was revealing something in the temple that I wasn't supposed to? You never even read it, did you? Exercise is part of the word of wisdom, along with eating healthy. And so, no, I follow the word of wisdom on my own. I chose to. I saw my Southern California peers getting drunk and wasted and acting stupid and then barfing up, and I got sick as a kid in Placentia. Could have even been Michigan. Trying to figure out the blueprints of the house that I was in when I did that in the master bedroom. And swore on my grave I will never throw up again. And I haven't. Because that experience was so horrifying to me that I purposely mentally conditioned myself never to throw up again. And so seeing my peers throwing up, yeah, brought back too many memories of thinking that I was literally going to cough up my lungs and my heart and my intestines. It was a nightmare for me as a kid. Because as a kid, you don't know anything. And so you make things up as to what could happen. Oh no, I'm going to die. And so, yeah, things were traumatic as a child. And they forge your life for the rest of your life. And so, yeah, she is still guessing. She can't get it right. And so now I know, really, wow. She was fishing, and now she knows, deep down, you are just a weak, yellow-bellied coward. Weakness and sins, an addict, disobedient to the word of wisdom, and so she concludes, I'm a yellow-bellied coward who can't hang. So you prob got X'd for watching porn? Dear God, girl. Here she is attacking women's bodies. See what the church did. By using idol worship, she doesn't even go to the temple, apparently. Because if she went to the temple, she would know that that's Lucifer's doctrine. That watching porn is bad. You need to cover up and hide. Or did you not catch that from the temple? Lucifer's doctrine is to be ashamed of your body, to cover it up and hide it. Lucifer's doctrine. Do we need to go back to the garden story again? And so what is the church's doctrine on a woman's body? Ta-da! Lucifer's doctrine. And now you see the consequences, the results of faith in Lucifer's doctrine. Thank you, Tricia. I no longer want to worship Satan anymore. I'm leaving the church. And what she got flagged for, effing around on your wife. Ooh, she assumes I got married. Let alone cheating on my wife. Nope, Trisha. Yeah, she was cheating on me. The first wife, anyway. Yep. She ended up with several $100s when she left me. Didn't want to tell me where she got the money from. And in the last year of our marriage, there were all sorts of clues. The biggest one was not getting home until late after midnight, and kept getting later every night that I stayed up later trying to wait for her, because I was concerned about her. And she was dressing up like she was going to church. Church isn't open after midnight. Neither is the temple. And then there were others, but yeah, she was giving up on the family. And so yeah, she was cheating on me. She was a prostitute. So way to go, Trisha. You got me pegged, don't you? You know all about me and you've exposed me. And this is going to be just about Trisha, isn't it? 30 minutes already. With the two little girls who you left. I got 3 kids, Trisha. There was Melissa, Clayton, and Emma. She kidnapped them with the help of the bishop and my parents and her parents. She took them away. She cheated on me. She abused me in the relationship, physically, not just mentally. And she took them, and the church helped her. All because I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. The biggest contribution that the world has ever known since the invention of Paleo-Hebrew in the first place. And so, yeah, you don't know. I was telling Jasmine in an email yesterday that Melissa was 10 pounds 9 ounces. I was 9 pounds 10 ounces. Clayton was 11 pounds 3 ounces. And Emma, I don't remember. I think it was over 13 pounds. But she was definitely bigger from what I had heard. I never got to be there for her birth, like the other two. So yeah, you've got to have good breeder hips to be my wife. Otherwise, you're going to explode. And so, yeah, I never cheated on my wife. Never cheated on any girlfriend. Don't cheat. I don't do whores. I don't do sluts. I don't do that. And I definitely don't pay. I've had relationships. And I was a gentleman. There's some who are not happy because I guess they wanted me to be rich. But no, I don't sleep around so that I can get an STD. That's the thing that Trisha is not wanting to accept. She's going all out to create a category box of me as the most vile, evil person in the universe. And this is what was done to Joseph Smith, if you didn't know. Those women who went with Brigham as sex slaves to this valley, forced into polygamy, with the death penalty, yeah, they wrote it in their journal. None of the other women who didn't go with Brigham Young ever claimed that Joseph Smith came to them and said, you need to have sex with me or God's going to smite you down. You got to leave your husband for me. Nope. just the ones that went with Brigham. And of course, all of Brigham Young's Danites said that Joseph Smith approved of it. They were the ones who claimed that they went to Emma and said, you have to practice Section 132 that we just created the year before Brigham Young died. As, yeah, there were parts of it, you know, the Nauvoo Expositor had a lie in there, and I've done the videos over the years. But yeah, this is a Danite tactic that Tricia is pulling on me. What the Danites did to Joseph Smith is what Tricia, a descendant of the Danites, is doing to me. Just as Mormons treat Joseph, so also do they treat me. Way to go, Tricia. And so, yeah, she's assuming I did some bimbo. I cry when I see a bimbo. A bimbo, in case you don't know, is someone who gets plastic surgery for cosmetic purposes, not because she was in an accident and needs it for medical purposes. They're the ones who do the Botox to make their lips ginormously huge and other facial features and their boobs. It doesn't appeal to me. I cry because the woman's ashamed of her body. She didn't love herself, and so she altered herself according to the abusive peers who said that she would be better looking if she did that. I just want to cry. So no, I don't. Dear God, Tricia, you are evil. And not pay child support or your tithing. No, I was forced to pay child support. Utah made sure of that. She got the divorce up in Canada without me. I found out through my paycheck stub. I was working for the church, and I got my stub, and it was more than 50% of my income taken out for child support. I went, oh crap, now I'm homeless. And so, no, I paid child support. After the 6 years that I was incarcerated without justice, without the justice system, I would go on to get married a second time, and talking to the bishop, the same bishop who would later tell me to stop promoting the Book of Mormon as true, we had to get permission from her, the first. And she sent my bishop a letter saying, I'm glad that Travis can move on. But the bishop had received notification from the First Presidency that Stephanie had accused me of not paying child support and looking at porn. That wasn't an issue. It was the child support. The bishop said, I need you to get a letter saying that you don't owe child support. And so I had to find the number to call families, or what is it called? Child and Family Services for the government, whatever it's called. And I was trying to say, I need a letter saying that I don't owe child support because they couldn't find me in the files. And so I eventually was able to convince them to send me a documented certified letter saying that I have no outstanding child support. And so, I submitted that, and the First Presidency approved our sealing immediately. It was super fast. The bishop was even surprised at how fast they approved the sealing for the second marriage. which was in room number 13 of the Salt Lake Temple, and we had our wedding feast at the Lion House next to the Beehive House. Anybody familiar with Samson? Yeah, she cut my hair too, and then she betrayed me. And that's why she left. And so tithing? No, I don't make any money. I don't pay tithing. And now that I've left, yeah, I don't pay tithing. Dear God, it is an extortion threat. You shouldn't be paying tithing, Tricia, but you're a Danite. You are hypnotized by the church. You have become an enemy. All these are lies by you, fishing for anything that will stick, so that you can go, aha, gotcha, and think that you were proven right. But what you are doing here, Tricia, is revealing the worst fault in yourself. And so she's not done yet. So now you just want to sit around feeling sorry for yourself. I don't feel sorry for myself. I'm actually enjoying my life, even though I'm lonely. I would like a woman who's not mean like Tricia. Pissing and moaning while you're drinking and on unemployment. Loser. She's already concluded who I am. She has no clue who I am. I have no clue who she is. Inglesby? Tricia Inglesby. I have no clue who she is. There's no picture to identify her. She's from UCLA. That's interesting. YouTube channel, UCLA, all caps. University of Southern California, Los Angeles. That's USC. Well, that, yeah. No. University College of Los Angeles. I'd been there. Basketball coach took me there a couple of times. I was hoping that I would go there for college so that I can continue on in basketball. Met some of the coaches and the faculty. He was trying to get me in. And so she's got Apache N Wed to Survive as a playlist, and then another playlist, Native. I have no clue who she is. So yeah, this is evil of her. So she's making accusations that have no basis of truth in them. This is just a wrathful woman. I've never done anything to her. I don't even know who she is. And yet for her to do this for me on prophetic reliability or infallibility? Seriously? I've left the church, but Mormons can't leave me alone. But yeah, I'm deeply concerned about her and her personality. She may not be a drinker. She may not be a slut whore. But because she is revealing that she is making false accusations that I'm doing it, she's revealing that she is most likely culpable of doing it if she were to crash. Because it's on her mind. This is why I'm worried about Tricia. This is pretty serious. See, I'm not hurt by this. I just brush it off. I do it as a video. I let all of you guys know about it. This doesn't hurt me. I know she's lying. I know she's not gonna find some document that proves I lived my life. I have no regrets. And so for her to make these claims when I know the real story about my life, and she doesn't, yeah, deeply concerned. She literally is ashamed of her body because she's accusing me of getting X'd for watching porn. I see porn every single day with my Egyptian study. The whole language is porn. And sometimes it's stick figure porn. But yes, because of this, I have no problem having a Sports Illustrated calendar. I forgot to use day 1 yesterday. I finally realized, oh, it's the 2nd. And so yeah, now I have day number 2. Say, there's nothing to be ashamed of for her body. She's too skinny for me. I prefer women with meat on their bones. But no, she's still beautiful. She doesn't have plastic surgery of any kind. So she loves her body. She's not ashamed of her body. But yes, Trisha is. She calls that porn. She's that extreme. She is a threat to society. She needs to be locked up because she's got a lot of pent-up rage inside of her, and she's just looking for a fight. She needs to stay far away from me. Far away from everybody, apparently, too. Because when she says, I'm a yellow-bellied coward, that's the call for fight. And as a woman, this kind of woman purposely tries to get men to beat her so that she can claim to be the victim and then get the man punished for beating her. That's how evil she is. I've known this kind of woman. And so yeah, cheating around, yeah. See, the religious leaders, if you've been paying attention to the news for the last couple of decades, they're the ones who end up getting caught in sex scandals and criminal scandals. It's because they're preaching to their flock the false doctrines of denying your natural body functions and idol worship. That a woman's body should be shamed, covered up. And so yes, they're the ones that make the big news story when they fall. If it were just a follower who falls, they just said, yeah, you're right, I'm weak. But when the preacher is the one who does the falling, or does the recording of his wife doing the pool boy, that's where you start to realize, I don't think this church and its doctrines are true. But people still remain in that church, don't they? People still follow and listen. Because now it's the Noah syndrome, King Noah syndrome. Their weakness and sins are just like mine. So now I don't feel bad when I record my wife doing the pool boy. But yeah, or doing other sex sins. He is now set a bad example for his flock, who now can justify doing it themselves. just like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so yes, Trisha wants to do it. She's screaming she wants to cheat on her husband, assuming she is married. I feel sorry for the guy. But it would take a guy who beats her in order to tame her and control her, which would be why she's screaming to do it herself. Because she's not allowed to. And so, yeah, the can't hang, which is, I'm assuming, it doesn't make sense. Because I'm thinking it's a sexual insult. Because hanging is the bad thing. And so that has me wondering if she's even married in the first place. So, yeah, she is scary. If anybody actually knows her, dear God. And so, I'm not unemployed. I get money. But yeah, the church had ruined me financially. I can't get a normal job like other people can. The church ruined that, so I can't do it. They don't want me to have a life. But what I do get is sufficient for this apartment. And so it's not unemployment. She just doesn't know me. So, yeah, this is a sad, scary woman. And this whole video ended up being dedicated to her as a result. But this is the abuse that I've been getting from other Mormons. Not necessarily to the extreme all at once. Little portions of it have been pulled out for other individuals. You know, they'll call me a yellow-bellied coward, but not do the other things. Or they'll say that I'm blaming the church for my weaknesses and sins, but they won't throw in the other stuff. They'll call me crazy, which is similar to addict, but nothing else. She's throwing everything in there, all in one. And I have no idea who she is. No clue whatsoever. And she's gonna be reported, and YouTube already flagged her. And so I don't know what the process is for YouTube for when they agree that she needs to be flagged, and I don't know what YouTube does. So, this is scary. But yeah, it's just like Joseph Smith. And that's what Mormons don't get. That's what critics don't get. Joseph Smith was framed by evil people just like Trisha. They are Danites. They are the enemy of the people. And America has fallen, and they're about to take over the kingdom. And I can't get anybody to listen to me. Because I'm trying to save your life, even Trisha's, but clearly Mormons don't want to be saved. They would rather accuse me of being a Danite, just like Joseph was.